authors, publishers, and designers. It's Matt Stone from 100 Covers back with another short lesson just about nonfiction. I've made a video to this effect before, talking about stock images on nonfiction covers. In the past, you really see these image-heavy nonfiction covers, right? And this is a brand new designer here in his first few weeks of designing some book covers. And when I see this cover, which is dominated by a stock image, the natural instinct of most people with a nonfiction cover is they do want something to show the book. They want an emotional image. They want to do something like that. But that's just not really what's working currently. That's not the trend. The trend is very much in nonfiction to put all the focus on the title, to let the title and the other text of the book cover do all the work, and the graphic design elements and images, vectors, cartoons, illustrations, whatever's on the cover, that's really being used as a garnish on nonfiction right now. So I've been giving a lot of our new designers this lesson, and it's really good to take a close look at it. Here's another one. It's all about the image, and then there's the title kind of at the bottom, out of the way of the main focus, which is the image. Here's another one here. This one's better, but again, you take this big, heavy title and stuff it up in the top. All the other text is jammed down at the bottom, and the main focus is this image. If you want to do a dove or something that's flying, why not write transcending family trauma, taking up the entire space of the cover, and then the dove is, coming off of one of the letters in a clever way. It still shows the exact same thing, but it's using graphic design and images as a garnish, not as the feature element. Really trying to get my design team moving away from using images as the feature elements on nonfiction covers. So I went into nonfiction, and I got this screenshot. 3 and 6 were not really adhering to this all that well. But 1, 2, 4, and 5 in the nonfiction, this is in the Kindle store, so best nonfiction, top sellers the other day. You can see this in action, right? The title is really in this case, Michael Lewis's case, the author. The text, let's say, is the main feature element, right? And you can see the graphical, the images are just garnish, right? You have just a little X's and O's football type of image to show strategy, but it's up at the top, it's out of the way. It's not the main feature element. And the title is really doing all the work here, and the design is fairly plain, right? Let's see, let's get a little closer on these. But the design is fairly plain. Here, you just have the title, subtitle, and this is great. This is what I mean, talking about putting a dove, flying off of one of the letters. This puts a crown on top of one of the letters to show swagger, right? This is a book that's charting, probably because it's just released and got a promotion. This is not like a major perennial bestseller or anything, but it's still a good example of what I'm talking about. Looking down to these, obviously Michael Lewis is, he's Michael Lewis. He's the king of nonfiction. He dominates nonfiction, has for a long time. And the simplicity of the cover, I mean, if this is good enough for the best of the best, the biggest budget, publishing and marketing budget in all of nonfiction, coming out of a massive publishing company, if this is good enough, some dots on a yellow background, then certainly you don't need to go overboard in putting a bunch of images onto your nonfiction cover. Here's another one here. This is kind of outdated to have the little tear through like that. To me, this is, like I said, dated. But it's still all about the text. The text is doing all the work, and it's just got one simple graphical element, and it works. So anyway, that's just a simple lesson. If you want your nonfiction to look and be in sync with the trends of the bestsellers, which you should, make it all about the text and just use images as a garnish, and stop making these covers where it's just all about the image. That's perfect for most fiction, but nonfiction, it's not what's getting it done. What's getting it done is making the title look really great and keeping the look very simple. You know, obviously these are covers that are all using bright colors. I wouldn't say every nonfiction genre needs bright colors, but we do use a lot of bright colors in our nonfiction designs for Kindle. They do seem to help most of the time. But that's it. That's all I really wanted to say, and hopefully that's a good lesson for the 100 Covers design team too. Really just let the title do the work. Let it do the heavy lifting and keep these nonfiction designs simple.